When God brought me to Rancho Murrieta Community Church to serve as lead pastor in December of 2020, I was so grateful that we had recently completed a capital campaign and were poised for a fresh season of ministry and a newly renovated, fully paid off building. But here we are, just 3 years into that journey, and we've already outgrown these spaces. Since our church began in 1983, we've been about one thing, and that's guiding people into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ. Over the years, we've gathered in the operating engineers cafeteria down the street, the firehouse annex, and a rented FAA building right here. And we've explored different possibilities at different points of a permanent facility for our church, but each time the Lord took us a different direction. Then in 2018, the Lord opened the door for us to purchase the building we had been renting space in for many years, the building we now call home. And after many frustrating starts and stops, God blazed the trail before us, even demonstrating his overflowing generosity through a member of our church who gave the $1.5 million needed to purchase this building. And this investment, paired with so many other faithful and sacrificial givers, enabled us to renovate our building and to launch us into the season of deep impact and exponential growth which we're now experiencing. Since 2020, Rancho Murrieta Community Church has grown from seeing 150 each weekend to now more than 700 engaged in weekend services. We have more than 320 connecting and growing deeper in small setting growth groups during the week, and hundreds more serving in roles where they get to demonstrate God's love and grace in tangible ways. As Rancho Murrieta has become more and more the hub of the River Valley, we've become the well where people from various backgrounds can drink deeply of Jesus, can experience a life-giving encounter with Jesus and ripple outward carrying the gospel. It's a beautiful thing to see God's Spirit bringing this vision to life, but we find ourselves already outgrowing the spaces we renovated just 4 years ago. Our sanctuary is full at both worship services. Our Kids Quest classes are often pushing capacity limits, and our youth ministry room no longer fits our teens as they gather. Our lobby is congested as people connect with one another before and after services. If we don't expand our space now, we'll see our opportunities to reach those around us diminish because we won't have space to receive them. So, over the past year, we've prayerfully explored how we can best continue living out the Great Commission, and we believe that the answer is to build up our existing facility so that we can better reach out to the surrounding communities. Let me give you a glimpse of what we believe God has in store for us. As we build up, our sanctuary will expand from about 250 seats to a potential 370 seats per service. Our technology will also improve to help us continue discipling the 100+ who join us each weekend online. We will create a new youth ministry room that will help us reach and disciple our teens in our community, as well as warm breakout spaces for youth, growth groups, and others who meet to connect, grow, and pray together. Additionally, we will open up the lobby to alleviate congestion and enable us to extend better hospitality to our guests. And we will build on behind the sanctuary to give us some much-needed storage space. Moving upstairs, as we literally build up, we will create a spacious landing where children can check into one of our 12 Kids Quest classrooms, increasing Kids Quest capacity by another 50%. Our kids will fill the new quad to sing, dance, play, and praise Jesus together. In addition to these kids' ministry rooms, we will also reserve a space to bring Christian counseling to Rancho Murrieta in hopes of removing the obstacle of a long drive from those who are seeking wholeness and healing in Christ. Outside the walls of our building, we will fix some drainage issues, create a compelling environment for kids and teens on our backyard, and take care of some overdue work on our parking lot. With these renovations, we'll be able to thrive on this site for many years to come as we continue to reach out to our community. See, we can never lose sight of the reality that there are thousands around us who haven't yet stepped into a saving relationship with Jesus Christ. And this renovation isn't for us, it's for them. This campaign isn't for those of us who are here now, it's for those who aren't here yet. Our heart is for the gospel to transform every heart and life, not just here in Rancho Murrieta and the River Valley, but to the ends of the earth. And that's why, Every year, we're increasing our missions giving to local and global ministry partners. In 2023 alone, we deployed $241,000 to fund missional efforts here in our region and around the globe. We are continuing our long-standing partnership with Iglesia Jehovah Jireh, 600 miles south of us in Loma Bonita, Mexico, where last year we assisted in building a learning center, and this year we'll aid with some much-needed repairs and renovations on the church building that we constructed together 18 years ago. We're not just seeking to build up our church, but God's church around the globe. This is what it looks like for us as we build up to reach out. Ultimately, this initiative isn't about funds or facilities. It's about our formation. It's about every single one of us experiencing God's fullness and joy as we become more like Him. It's about every single one of us being built up in God's grace so that we can better reach out with His gospel. So in this project, we have two goals. Our primary goal is 100% engagement. More than anything else, we want to see everyone who calls Rancho Murrieta Community Church their home church prayerfully engage in the vision God has laid on our heart together. Our second goal is to raise $3.5 million to make the necessary renovations to our facility so that we can continue reaching our surrounding communities for Jesus. The total cost for the project is $4.5 million, but because of your overflowing generosity, we have already been able to set aside $1 million to seed this project, which leaves us with just $3.5 million to go. As your pastor, I'm asking you to prayerfully join me in our 2-year Build Up to Reach Out campaign. And I'm asking you to join in 2 ways. First, pray. Pray for the lost around you. Pray for that family member, that friend, that coworker, that neighbor who doesn't yet know Jesus. And pray for our church as we seek to build up so that we can reach that person God has placed on your heart. The second way to get involved is to invest in God's work here. Some of you are already giving generously and sacrificially to God's work in and through Rancho Murrieta Community Church, and just a look at how God is using your investment. Some of you haven't started your giving journey with RMCC quite yet, and this is a great time to join in and to have a front row seat to see how God can use your gifts to multiply His ministry. I'm asking you today to make a faith promise. A faith promise is a commitment to give to God's work here over and above your regular giving to help us reach this $3.5 million goal. This is not a commitment of resources today, but a faith promise, trusting that God will provide those resources over the course of this 2-year campaign with our church. As you make this commitment, you're making an investment that will pay eternal dividends as God continues His transforming work in and through our church. Friends, thank you for letting me share God's vision for our church with you and for prayerfully considering how God is calling you to make a life-transforming investment in the ministry of Rancho Murrieta Community Church, which will impact generations to come. And let me tell you what excites me most, is if through the campaign and renovation work of 5 years ago, God has done this incredible work of drawing hundreds into His forever family and transforming countless lives right here, right now. What might He have in store for us in the years to come as we build up to reach out?